Good morning, Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1FM, and 990 AM WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sand Hills. Yes, my friends, it's time once again for Mornings with the Leader Man. I am Steve Leader Adams. Don't forget, of course, this program being heard and seen around the world on a live video stream. That's available to you right now at talk973.com. Top middle of the page is where the link is located. If you're on your mobile device, YouTube will do the work. You just put Mornings with the Leader Man in there. And if you're just needing our audio stream and on your portable device, well, YouTube, I'm sorry, not YouTube, but TuneIn, iTunes, Alexa, Stream, all those will play our just crystal clear digital stream for you. Just put WEEB into that search. And if you're on our website, that icon in the upper right-hand corner of every one of our pages at talk973.com says Listen Live. Tap that once and you're listening that quick. Weather for us today here in the Sand Hills area may be a little mixed bag, cloudy. Rain cranking up this afternoon sometime. It'll be the latter part of the afternoon. Look for a high around 61. Tonight, mostly cloudy. Lows in around 45. For Thursday, mostly cloudy, scattered showers. Mainly in the afternoon, look for a high of 64. Let's see. They increased the rain chances for today, by the way. Last night it was at 1/10 of an inch possible. Now it's at 1/4 inch. So keep that in mind when you're planning your day. Or was that Thursday? Mostly cloudy, scattered showers, 64. Friday, mostly cloudy, chance of drizzle, high of 54. Over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, mostly cloudy with slight chance of showers. Saturday, 64 for a high, and Sunday, same thing with a high of 53. Right now, in fact, we got rain Monday. Get this. Mostly cloudy, scattered showers. Then Monday night, partly cloudy, with a chance of rain and snow. You're right, chance of rain and snow, with a low around 30. So any snow that does fall will be short-lived because Tuesday it's going to be 43 under partly cloudy, sunny skies. Right now around the Sand Hills, winds calm, visibility 10 statute miles, pressure is 30-24, dew point 44. Humidity 83%, it's cloudy 49 degrees here at Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. All right, well, earlier this in the hour, we had that report about our roads here in Moore County. The DOT has already let contracts out, or they've let out bids. In other words, they put it out for bids again. The first segment of the destruction of Midland Road. Now, we've already gone through all their pony show of getting your input and saying what you want to say. They didn't incorporate one bit of it into their plan. I was at the council meeting where the DOT guy stands up and says, I took an oath to make sure every road that I work on is as safe as it can be, and I'm going to live up to my oath. Well, translation, I made an oath to make sure every road in North Carolina fits our templates in our little book. Now, if you look, let me pull it up here because I don't want to say if it's not true. Take me 1 second here. Well, maybe 3. But let's get it up here. Where is it? Okay, there it is. All right, first section they're going to do is there where Highway 22 comes into Midland Road, just right there near the US 1 interchange. And what they're going to do is first come in and stick a center point in the middle of that circle they're going to put. That's where they're going to put it. They're going to put a traffic circle there. I call them clog points. If you want to clog up the cars and clump them, or clump points, clump all the cars together so that no one can go faster than the slowest car there. That's what it does. It clumps you together, and nobody can break out and move on with their life at the speed limit because some slowpoke's got to be there doing 10 under the speed limit. And they dictate the whole speed of a road. So what these clowns are going to do now, they're going to go in and put their little center point there at the center of that circle and pull a string out 500 feet, draw a big circle, and rip out every tree in that circle. Oh, yeah, and that's, that's 500 feet up Midland Road, too, with no trees. You want to see what it looks like? Go in front of Walker Station there. That example of how to never do a project, where they came in and wiped out every tree. And every tree in the median's gone, too. And that's what they want. All the trees gone on Midland Road. If you go down Midland Road, you'll see some trees have already been flagged with that blue tape. Blue means removal. And there are a bunch of them with the blue tape on them. They try to make them as inconspicuous as possible. Usually they tie it around the tree so that the guy sawing them down can see them better. But no, they put they tacked a little small surveyor tape into the tree and then turn them at an angle so hopefully you wouldn't see them. But they're there, particularly around that eye care center. And those are the ones flagged to be removed, one right after another. They're not going to be happy till it looks as sterile as 211. I was going down 211. I'm going to get back to this in a second. But I was going down 211 yesterday. And on the way there, there was one section there past the Harris Teeter where it seemed like, I said, this road is really crazy, built crazy in that it was slanted to the middle of the road, to the median. And they had a ton of catch basins to get there. Whereas if they had slanted the other way, because what they did, they had to build up the right side in order to slant it that way. Instead of following natural terrain and let it slope to the other side and not create that big ditch, that 10-foot down ditch that they created to slant it to the middle. Doesn't make any sense. See, these engineers never see the road. They draw it they just look at a topo map and draw their little road, and they just design it with the least effort. But of course, that ends up being at the most expense because you had to put all these catch basins in to catch the water. Whereas they drain all the road to the other side of the road and maintain the right-of-way correctly, you don't need all that curbing they put there. That does nothing but look ratty all year long because they don't mow the grass properly. And it all grows down the side of the curbing, and it's always got debris in the curbing. Whether it be pine needles or cut grass or just crap people throw out the door. It all ends up in that curbing. And it looks like crap. Whereas if they didn't have the curbing, because the studies have shown if you let the water run off naturally, the grass will catch it and slow the rate of water down, and it will dissipate naturally. As long as you got a proper grade there. Other thing I noticed was, they can't come through, and of course they take that big swipe of trees out across the thing. It must be 500 feet of trees all the way across. Taken out on both sides, stripped clean, and sterile. And I saw that Pinecrest had come through on their side of the road and put little pine trees in to make it look so fresh and new. In other words, rip it out and then replace it. Makes sense to me. Guess what? There were already pine trees there before they ripped them out. Now they come back with, 5-foot-high seedlings and stick them in. And, of course, that median, like I said, they don't mow it. And it looks like a rat pine. This is your interest to piners. And you say, well, they're just putting in a bunch of plants there, down the median there between Olmsted Village and the hospital. Yeah, they did. And let me guess what that's going to look like. A weed factory this summer. Because they don't ever maintain it. It just continues to look like crap. Well, we won't get ahead of ourselves. We'll give them a chance. But I guarantee you it's going to look like crap. But back to the circle there at Midland Road and 22, that they hope to start putting this in right after the U.S. Women's Open, which is in May. So by June, they should be in there, and they're going to close the road off for 75 days. So you'll have to find another way through that section of Midland. And they'll make it like their template. Now, they're also asking now for input for US 1. Because let me tell you what they're getting ready to do to US 1. They're going to just destroy it. In that it'll take away your desire to go there and shop at those stores. It's going to hurt us big time economically. Every time I go down that road, it's not, even with the slow knuckleheads that get out in the road, to go, well, let's go across 4 lanes and do this and that and the other. I never really have trouble getting through there. It moves relatively okay, considering. But you say, well, it'd be nice if we could just go right through there. Yeah. Well, let's look at what one of the things they won't show you. But I saw it on one of their plans. Now, whether it sticks, I don't know. But the plan they had, and usually that's the one they're going to follow because they're too lazy to do it right, is that, okay, let's suppose you're going down US 1. Let's start a little further back. Down southbound lane to US 1, you get to Midland Road, and you say, okay, I want to go to downtown Southern Pines. So you go down the ramp. Right now you can cut on your blinker, look both ways, and go left. But after the DOT gets through with this new, improved intersection, you'll have to turn right. You go, but I need to go left. Well, you can't. You'll have to go right up to that new traffic circle they're going to put in. So let's see. Now, not only do they have the clump of cars that are going to be generated from Highway 2 and 22, which is Midland Road and 22, let's combine into our traffic circle all the traffic from US 1, all of it, whether it's going left or right. And you don't have to go around that stupid circle and then go back down toward downtown. Does that make sense to you? But that's the way the government template says it should be. This is how all the highways are going to look, whether you like it or not. Instead of coming out, look at the situation of how Midland Road looks, how it fits in the community. No, they just sit at their little desks and paste a template on the plan. And that's how it's going to look. So that'll be a big clump point. That'll gather all the cars together. And again, you can only go as fast as the slowest car there. Which in our case is always one person driving 10 miles an hour under the speed limit. I just don't want this place to end up like Raleigh. That's what I'm trying to fight. Because in Raleigh, you can't go anywhere. Everything's done to the templates. The new standard of building our highways, according to our government. And it's like traffic doesn't flow. It just does not move. Everything's a laborious project to move. You go one block, you stop. Go one block, you stop. And then they traffic lock businesses. Here's case in point of the plan I saw. You would go down US 1. Let's suppose you're going down to Aberdeen. And you're you're going down US 1 in the southbound lane, and you say to yourself, I like McDonald's. I would like a McDonald's burger. Yeah, okay. So you get in front of McDonald's and want to turn in, can't do it. They blocked it. You say, well, how do I get to McDonald's? It's sitting right there. Well, here's how you'll have to do it. You'll have to go down to 15501, take a right, go up one block there where the Taco Bell is. I forget the name of that street. And take another right. And then go almost back to US 1, and then you get into McDonald's on that little side street. But you got to go around your thumb to get to it. What do you think that's going to do to McDonald's business? It's sure not going to help it. But you think your government cares? No. You think they care that somebody came, because that's a privately owned chain there. You think the government cares that somebody came in and put their hard-earned money down, bought an expensive piece of real estate there, put in a McDonald's, put all their money on the line, and have to manage in such a way and create enough demand to make a living? You think they care? No. We're the government. We're going to make your road safe, and we're going to traffic block you. That's what I call it, traffic locking. So nobody can get in without a big aggravation. So that's what they're going to do with your road and super road. Right now they're calling for public input. Yeah. Each of the department's highway divisions are hosting a week-long public comment opportunity on the projects. Our area is Division 8, and their little get-together with you will be on March 4th through 8th during normal business hours at their headquarters there on US 1. Nobody will show up, and it's a waste of time to show up. They don't hear your input. They'll show you a few little pretty maps that are all laid out to make them look good. They're going to say, look, here are all the here are all the blue dots on the page. See all these blue dots? This is wherever a car can turn in. And now look, we have 4 red dots. And that's where we're going to make the turn points at. Isn't that much better? No, because it clumps up traffic there. When you got a bunch of blue dots, nobody gets clumped up in traffic. They had an accident on Midland Road this week. Single car accident, plowed into a tree. Now, I don't know the details of that accident. Don't claim to know them. But I suspect somebody's doing something other than driving or paying attention to their driving. Otherwise, you wouldn't run into a tree. A tree didn't jump out and get you. You drove into it. And there are a lot of roads around here that, like Mackenzie Road and, what's that one over there? Anyway, there are a whole bunch of them there in Pinehurst where the tree's right next to the road, almost too close for truck traffic to be able to go down the road without going over the center line. Otherwise, the top of their cab will hit the leaning trees. So, but that's the way the community wants it. But now they're taking your say away from it because it's a state-maintained road, so we get to do what we want to do with it. And I'll tell you how it is, just like they did with Midland Road. They'll sit there and listen to you. They won't put the plans out in front that show exactly what they're going to do. They'll show you a template. And if you go to their website, they'll show you an animation of their superhighway. And, it's just a template animation. This is how all roads will look. And if you just want an example of how they look like, it'll look just as sterile as it does on 211. What an interest to Pinehurst. if they'd done it right and to get the government thought out of their head, they could have kept a lot of character there. But now they come in and do it the same way everywhere. Strip everything out, make it look as sterile as possible. Never bring an engineer out to actually walk the land to see if there's a better way or a better lane to the road. No, he's sitting and looking at a topo map. And they draw where the road's going to go, and then they just detail where all the dirt has to be pushed to, making the road about 10 times more expensive to build. So that's your DOT for you. So if you wait your time to go there, they'll give you their song and pony dance, and if you get specific on the questions, they'll say, oh, we haven't done that yet. We haven't done that yet. Because I called them at the Midland Road little meet and greet they had there at the Douglas Center. And I said, how many trees you going to cut down? And they said, 121. I said, where? Oh, we haven't decided that yet. Oh, I see. You decided you need 121 trees down, but you can't tell me which 121. Yeah, I believe that. In other words, your government just lied to you. And I said, where's your asphalt plan and your curbing plan so I can see what you plan on doing? Oh, we don't have that yet. Oh, yes, you do. You just don't want to show it. Because you're a bunch of damn liars. You're just soft peddling this thing. You're going to do it your way anyway. We got no say. They go to the town boards and they say, this is the best we can, this is our final plan. You need to sell it to your community. And they hold a big public meeting in all the town halls, and people come up, complain, and say they don't want it. About 80% of them say they don't want it. And then all the councilmen will say, well, we have given our input, and this is the final plan of what's come up, and I'm going to endorse it. Because our government has to stand by the state government. We want a good relationship. So we'll let them destroy our road for this so-called good relationship. God help us, man. What have we created? A DOT that doesn't give a damn about the communities that have to live on their crap that they leave behind. That's what we got. And what are they spending on this Midland Road thing? It's $27 million, something, 23, 27. See if I got it in my notes here. Don't see it right off the top of the bat, but something like 23.7 million. And they're gonna, you know, that money could have been spent somewhere else. Education, maybe. No, let's spend it to destroy Midland, one section at a time. Because Midland Road, when they're through, they will not have a single tree in that median. They'll all be gone. And their pretty little patini bushes will be in the middle, growing weeds everywhere. Because we're your state government. We know what's best for you. A patini bush doesn't hurt nearly as bad as a pine tree. What they don't tell you is that Midland Road has a lower accident rate than a normal 35-mile-an-hour road. And why? Well, the pine trees. Most people do pay attention. All right, it is 7:52, 52 past the hour. Oh, what should you do? How can you fight back? My suggestion is, because DOT's not going to listen, is to go to your council members and ask them to stand up and get a backbone and fight for you. Tell them we don't want it. Not in this form, but they won't do it. None of them have a single shred of a backbone in there to take on the state. They could go to the governor. Governor could stop it at any time and talk to him. They could get a meeting. You can't, but they could. If they grow a spine and start taking on the government and fight for us for a damn change, instead of rubbing stamping all these bad decisions. All right, let's play a few sound bites this morning. Don't forget John Zumwalt coming up the bottom of at 8:30 this morning. If you ever watch TV, you know Chicago has a lot of TV shows. You got Chicago Fire and Chicago Med, and Chicago PD. It just goes on and on. How many shows do these guys need?
Viewers love shows like Chicago Med, Chicago Fire, Chicago PD, Chicago Hope, and Chicago Justice. So now get ready for more, because coming soon, Chicago CSI, Chicago Police Dogs, Chicago DMV,
Number 27,
Chicago Waste Disposal, Chicago-style pizza.
It's all deep dish.
Chicago Airport.
All flights are canceled.
Chicago Library Unit. Chicago Dry Cleaning. And Chicago Oil Change.
Pull it in.
Because for some reason,
Chicago.
people love shows
Chicago.
with Chicago in the title.
There you go. Well, Bernie Sanders so far has raised over $10 million. Money pouring in from all the snowflakes who haven't. I tell you what, we better get control of our schools, because this is where the destruction starts. All that nonsense these professors are drilling in their heads. You know, they're the laziest people on God's green earth, the professors are. Most of them don't teach more than 3 hours a week, and I mean that seriously. They haven't for decades. Because they're thinking toward the university, and they're just so smart. We have to, break away for 3 hours a week and teach a class. But it gets a little ridiculous. Who was it that said it was Socrates? Said the most important job in the world is that of a teacher. And the most, something like the most control you have is who picks those teachers. So we need to be looking into that. Maybe we can, and here in the near future. Well, Bernie Sanders is getting a lot of support from the ultra-left. I guess he's the one that they feel like has the best chance at this thing at this point. But Bernie's also trying to do ordinary things to look ordinary, kind of like Trump. He came from business into the political arena. Of course, Bernie Sanders flies around in private planes and rails about the climate change. But now and then he tries to look like a normal American.
Bernie Sanders doing ordinary things.
I would like to go to Whole Foods and pay $1,400 for my groceries. I do not want to experience a sale. And I want to be able to say to anyone there, what the hell is this stuff in this box? That's $9. Additionally, I would like to have snooty people glaring at me as if to say I'm unhealthy. I also don't want ever to shop in a store that does not have a checker with nose rings and piercings. And please, let me put my own items in my own eco-friendly, reusable green bag that I bring to the store. While I'm at it, why don't I just ring up my own purchase and give myself change? No, wait, that is Stop and Shop.
This has been Bernie Sanders doing ordinary things.
Well, has this ever happened to you as a parent? A British dad decided to check out his 8-year-old son's iPad search history and found something interesting involving barbecue sauce on the woman's chest. His teenage daughter was with him when he did it, and they couldn't stop laughing. Anyway, here's the review.
So what are you looking at, Dad?
I'm checking out Finley's iPad search history.
So this is my 8-year-old brother. How
did Extension die? How did Michael Jackson die? How did Elvis die? David Bowie, Arson, Club Ubisoft, Fortnite, Shadical Face. Oh, barbecue sauce on
barbecue sauce on
So sitting there with barbecue sauce on my look.
Okay, thrilling review there, huh? Barbecue sauce on the chest. Said another way. Here's an angry mom breaking up a house party.
Cause they hear we got swagger, but we kick them to the curb unless they look like assholes. Get everybody the out now! I'm gonna kill ya! When you get my body, I don't give a flying out.
You seem to have a serious problem controlling your rage.
Yes, you do. All right, 8 o'clock, we'll be back.
You'll need the rain gear once again for this afternoon. We're tracking increasing rain chances as we get into the later parts of the day. Those cooler highs will be in place as well. Expect them in the lower 50s. We'll stay mostly dry tonight as those clouds try to break apart. Temperatures fall into the lower to mid 40s. Dry conditions will help us start the day on Thursday, but those rain chances will swiftly move back in by the afternoon with highs in the lower to mid 60s. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
Broadcasting from the top of the North Carolina Sand Hills, 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM, WEEB, Southern Pines, Pinehurst, Aberdeen.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. President Trump in Hanoi.
Well, I want to just say it's an honor to be with Chairman Kim. It's an honor to be together.
The president during a photo op with North Korea's Kim Jong-un, the two leaders fielding questions from reporters before dining together. Still to come, the formal talks that will take place tomorrow. And the president is holding up Vietnam as an example of what North Korea could become if it would give up its nukes.
Tweeting from Hanoi, the site of his second summit with Kim Jong-un, the president said that North Korea would be the same as Vietnam if it would denuclearize. Mr. Trump went on to say that North Korea's potential is awesome. In a second tweet, the president faulted previous administrations for inaction on North Korea and said Democrats should stop telling him what to do.
White House correspondent Greg Clugston. Former Trump attorney Michael Cohen will be going public today with his version of his years working as Mr. Trump's so-called fixer.
Today's public appearance sandwiched in between 2 days of closed-door hearings before congressional committees. Cohen's attorney says he's prepared to document incidents of alleged wrongdoing by Mr. Trump, both before and after he took office. Meanwhile, Republicans will be attacking Cohen as an unreliable witness who's headed to prison for lying to Congress 2 years ago.
That's Capitol Hill correspondent Molly Hines. New York's busy Long Island Railroad predicting heavy delays all day after a car was hit by two commuter trains last evening in Westbury. Happened at a gated crossing. Police say the car drove around the gates trying to beat the trains. 3 people in the car were killed. Minor injuries suffered by 7 people on one of the trains. On Wall Street this morning, stock futures pointing to a lower open later on. Right now, Dow futures down about 54 points. S&P futures 5 points lower. NASDAQ futures 14 points in the red. More on these stories at townhall.com.
If this were just any door, and this were just any ignition, connected to just any transmission, in just any vehicle, then perhaps it would be okay to buy it from just anyone. But this is not just any car. It's a certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz. Every detail has been inspected and road tested by highly skilled Mercedes-Benz technicians, and it's all backed by an unlimited mileage warranty for up to 5 years, which makes the decision of where to buy one simple. Your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer. The certified pre-owned sales event going on now through February 28th. Come in today and we'll help cover your first month's payment. Offer available through Mercedes-Benz Financial Services. Because in the end, it's absolute confidence in genuine Mercedes-Benz parts, or it isn't. It's either Mercedes-Benz certified pre-owned, or it isn't.
See your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer for complete details and limitations on credit towards your first month's payment and certified pre-owned warranties.
The defeated candidate in Nigeria's presidential election refusing to accept the official results, giving victory to the incumbent president.
The main opposition candidate, Atiku Abubakar, says it's curious that his own strongholds in the south and east had a lower voter turnout compared to higher numbers in areas plagued with insecurity. Electoral observers have highlighted logistical failures in the electoral process but have not noted fraud. Judging by the 84 million registered voters, these were supposed to be Africa's largest ever elections, but only a third of those turned up to vote, a record low.
That's BBC's Tommy Oladapo. A Kremlin spokesman says reports that the U.S. military carried out a cyber attack in Russia ahead of the U.S. midterm elections proves the country needs to create its own self-controlled segment of the Internet. Opponents fear the measure would lead to more censorship. Breaking news and analysis at townhall.com. The Supreme Court hears arguments today in a case involving a cross-shaped war memorial.
The focus is on a cross in Bladensburg, Maryland, but the implications will be nationwide. Maybe that's why 30 states, along with the Trump administration, are siding with the state of Maryland in defending the memorial from critics who say that because it's in the shape of a cross, it's unconstitutional to have it on public lands. Commonly called the Peace Cross, it was erected in 1925 by the American Legion to honor local area residents who lost their lives in World War I. Bob Agnew reporting.
China's version of the Forbes richest people list says last year's stock market meltdowns erased $1 trillion of the fortunes of the world's richest people, with more than 212 Chinese tycoons losing their billionaire status. Still, Chinese billionaires outnumber those from any other country, with 658 as of the 31st of January. More on these stories at townhall.com.
When it comes to insurance, you should always think First. First Casualty Insurance Group, that is. At First, we represent over 3 dozen outstanding companies and can provide you with the coverage you need at a price that makes sense. Have us do a top-to-bottom review for you. It won't cost you a cent. Stop by or we'll come to you. There's no obligation. Always, the coverage you need at a price that makes sense. And all you have to do is give us a call, 910-692-8303. We've been in the peace of mind business for over 30 years. First Casualty Insurance Group, Southern Pines, 910-692-8303.
Building a new home or thinking about changing your existing floors? Aberdeen Carpet can show you the latest flooring trends that will fit your budget and lifestyle. Flooring is what we do every day. Visit Aberdeen Carpet's large showroom and discount warehouse filled with an extensive inventory, ready for immediate pickup. We offer expert advice, competitive pricing, and a huge selection. Located on Highway 5 in Aberdeen near the Habitat for Humanity store. Open Monday through Friday 9 to 5 and Saturdays 9 to 4. Call 944-6204. Or go online to aberdeencarpet.com.
Being overweight is the #1 health problem in America today. It leads to so many avoidable health issues. If you have a weight problem and finally want to do something about it, then do what I did and participate in the Transforming You Weight Loss Program, offered by Dr. Sharon Wright at Wright Chiropractic in Seven Lakes. It's a customized, physician-assisted program based on your body type and your goals. A healthier, more vibrant, spirited, and slimmer you emerges. Now, I lost 25 pounds in the first month and 50 pounds to date. That keeps me motivated. Now, the program is easy to follow. I'm Steve Leader Adams, and if I can do it, you can do it. Give Dr. Wright a call and set up your no-charge consultation about the Transforming You Weight Loss Program at 910-673-2225. That's White Chiropractic at 673-2225.
Eric Cooper here with Cooper Ford, your only locally owned Ford dealership in Moore County. 2018 was a phenomenal year, and we're off to a great start in 19. With 0% available on select models and discounts as much as $15,000, now is a great time to come see us at Cooper Ford and experience for yourself the difference a family-owned dealership can make. Straightforward pricing without all the hassle. I'm Eric Cooper, and I want to know you by name and show you how car buying should be. Please come visit us in historic Carthage or visit us on the web at cooperford.net. We're working hard to be your hometown dealer.
Fields Plumbing and Heating has served Moore County since 1948. Actually, the founder, J. Ellis Fields, started in the business as a boy in 1907 with Pinehurst Inc., who provided plumbing and heating services to Pinehurst homes and local hotels. Today, Fields Plumbing and Heating continues to provide superior heating service, plumbing technology, and customer service at the best possible price. When you need help, call the company with the most experience. Fields Plumbing and Heating, 910-949-3232. 949-3232.
NCN News. I'm Mike Riley. President Trump is in Hanoi, Vietnam for his second summit with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. They, too, spoke briefly with reporters after a meeting today with Mr. Trump expressing optimism in his new round of talks.
We're going to go have dinner, and then we have some big meetings scheduled for tomorrow, and we'll see you, I guess, at a news conference at some point during the day. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, any reaction to Michael Cohen of his testimony?
Thank you.
Meanwhile, President Trump tweeted this morning from Vietnam that his former personal attorney, Michael Cohen, is lying. The tweet came hours before Cohen plans to testify before Congress, claiming that his former boss is a racist, con man, and a cheat. CBS News correspondent Mark Liverman.
Late last year, Cohen was sentenced to 3 years in prison after pleading guilty to campaign finance violations, tax evasion, and lying to Congress. He agreed to cooperate with prosecutors as part of a deal. His 3-year prison sentence starts in early May.
Senator Tom Tillis and a group of colleagues have introduced a bipartisan disaster relief package on Tuesday with the backing of President Trump. The package would provide additional federal relief for our state as it recovers from Hurricane Florence. It would also assist other states still recovering from recent natural disasters. A judge on Tuesday placed a protective no-contact order against Representative Cody Henson of Transylvania County. The order came after Henson's wife, Kelsey Henson, testified she feared for her life and for the life of her children. A binder of messages was submitted as evidence. She tells WLOS News in Asheville.
It's been extremely difficult to get anyone to hear me.
North Carolina lawmakers have taken a small first step toward regulating electric scooters. A House Transportation panel voted Tuesday to define electric stand-up scooters in state law and make clear they're exempt from registration requirements. You're listening to NCN News.
There's a new risky scheme circulating in Raleigh that's going to hurt our teachers, state employees, and retirees.
The state treasurer is floating this risky scheme that will cut more than $400 million in payments to your local doctors and hospitals. Those cuts will cripple local hospitals, meaning state employees, teachers, and retirees on the state health plan will have limited access to hospitals and doctors in your community. This risky scheme will cut services. It will take away your choice about who you want to care for you and your family.
If the state treasurer really wants to cut costs to the state health plan, he needs to work with doctors and hospitals to prevent illness, manage chronic diseases, and help folks lose weight and stay healthy.
Healthy employees and retirees will save the state health plan money. Isn't that what the treasurer says he wants?
Let's stop pointing fingers and start working to build a smarter state health plan by protecting patients and supporting the folks who take care of them.
That's the North Carolina way of doing things.
Paid for by Partners for Innovation in Healthcare.
While we don't know when the 9th Congressional District special election will be, we do know that Republican Mark Harris won't be running. He cites health reasons. Former GOP Governor Pat McCrory also won't be running. He was on WBT radio and says he thinks the investigation should be widened.
And it's time for the media and for the Elections Board to reopen this investigation in public. Don't wait for the federal or state authorities and ask the question, who did what when?
At least 20 people died in a fiery train accident at Cairo's main railway station. Edward Uranian reports Egyptians complain the government poorly maintains its railways.
The Egyptian government has been trying feverishly to try to privatize the rail network and to get foreign companies to invest so that they can improve the rolling stock. But there isn't a lot of enthusiasm apparently on the part of foreign investors, and I guess for that reason, they're still being forced to use old equipment, old trains, old cars, old track, and so you have a lot of accidents when you're using old equipment.
A former federal prosecutor and a county board leader facing off in early April to become Chicago's next mayor.
In a field of 14 candidates, former federal prosecutor Lori Lightfoot finished on top with about 17% of the vote.
So what do you think of us now?
Cook County Board President Tony Preckwinkle was second with about 16% of the vote, forcing a runoff.
We laid out a vision. We've taken clear stands.
Lightfoot and Preckwinkle have been fierce adversaries.
I want to thank those who had the courage to stand with our campaign. When I say I will fight for working families, you know I will.
One of them will be elected Chicago's next mayor April 2nd. Terry Keshner for CBS News, Chicago.
1-year-old Carrie Yang from Hickory has been selected as Gerber's 2019 spokesbaby. There were more than 544,000 entries submitted online. Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
Unsettled weather conditions roll back into the forecast area for this morning. We'll see scattered showers, but those rain showers will pick up by the afternoon. We're tracking cooler highs as well in the lower 50s. Tonight will clear out with temperatures falling into the lower to mid 40s. Expect dry conditions to start the day on Thursday, but by the afternoon, the rain gear will come in handy as rain chances pick up then as well. Highs will top in the lower to mid 60s. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
Right now here in the Sand Hills area, we have cloudy skies, 51 degrees. Humidity 77%, dew point 44, pressure 30-24, winds calm, visibility is at 10 statute miles. It's 8:13. Let's take a look at your Sand Hills news for this Wednesday hump day already. Construction bidding opened this week for 2 side-by-side projects on Midland Road. Work on a new roundabout at Central Drive, which is NC 22, and access improvements at the US 1 interchange on Midland Road in Southern Pines. Well, it was all postponed last summer after the State Department of Transportation was unable to secure a reasonable bid. Brandon Jones, DOT Engineer 8, Division 8, said that we received 1 bid last year and it was high. The delay also meant the project had to be put on hold until at least mid-May after the U.S. Senior Women's Open that will be held at the nearby Pine Needles Resort and when it concludes. The project is part of a transformational plan to improve safety along the historic corridor. Last year, DOT reduced the speed limit on Midland Road from 45 to 35 along its entire route from Pinehurst Traffic Circle to downtown Southern Pines. The reduction was a late addition to the series of recommendations endorsed in the Midland Road Corridor Study. Other proposed improvements include closing 61 of 77 median closings, upgrades at 14 intersections, and a second roundabout at Airport Road. And planning for the massive super street project along the main commercial corridors in Southern Pines and Aberdeen has taken an unexpected turn. On Monday, elected leaders from both communities learned that drainage improvements on US 1 could force the relocation of an 18-inch water transmission line, which will be a pricey new dilemma. Get your hip pocket ready. State funding is already lined up for the $27.8 million road improvement, but the town would likely bear the cost of any utility improvements per current legislation. Aren't we lucky? That's your latest Sand Hills news this morning. Stand by. Here comes all your latest in sports right here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. It is 8:16.
NCN Sports, I'm Josh Zach. College hoops last night. Number 3 Duke on the road to play number 20 Virginia Tech in Blacksburg. They were playing without star freshman Zion Williamson for the second straight game with a sprained right knee, and for the second straight game, they lost. Virginia Tech taking down the Blue Devils 77-72. Duke now completing the toughest 6-game stretch any team will face this season. Now, in addition to losing Williamson, Duke was further impaired as their leading scorer, R.J. Barrett, was dealing with flu-like symptoms.
R.J. was sick the whole first half. Yeah, it's just the way it is. There's some human things here from being on the road, and for him to play that way in the second half was remarkable. Our guys played hard, man. They played hard and tough, and we just lost a real tough game. We got to get back and get refreshed. That 6-game stretch was going to be tough no matter what, especially with 4 of the games being Saturday, Tuesday away games. It's just an unusual thing. But when you lose Zion right in the middle, then it escalates. So overall, my team's done an outstanding job. We'll move forward now.
Duke had been the only team left in the country that was yet to lose a game on the road this season. The Tar Heels, meanwhile, they've now won 11 out of their last 12, overall, home or away. Kobe White scored a career-high 34 points, and 5th-ranked Carolina pulled away to beat Syracuse 93-85. Brandon Childress hit a three-pointer with just over 25 seconds left, and Wake Forest completed the rally to beat Miami 76-75 in Winston-Salem. The Demon Deacons trailed by 10 with under 2 minutes to play before they finished on a 16-5 run. On the ice, Dougie Hamilton had 2 goals and an assist, and the Carolina Hurricanes beat the LA Kings 6-1 last night in Raleigh. It was their 3rd straight win and their 9th out of their last 11. If the season ended today, the Hurricanes would be in the playoffs for the first time since they reached the conference finals in 2009, but they've still got 19 games to go. This is NCN Sports.
State lawmakers are cranking up a new legislative session. Everything's on the table. The budget, education, transportation, regulation. What are they doing, and how is it affecting you, your family, your business, your wallet? Carolina Journal helps you find answers. Available each month as a free newspaper. Every day online at carolinajournal.com. Carolina Journal, your #1 source for government news that affects you. Visit carolinajournal.com today.
Hockey fans, Caniacs, and other cool people, have you ever tried a Canes Fam Value Pack? They're a great way for you and your fam, that could be family or co-workers or buddies, to catch a Carolina Hurricanes home game with 4 or more bundled discounted tickets that also come with a $10 per ticket PNC Arena food and beverage credit. This special offer is available March 1st against the Blues, March 23rd against the Wild, and April 4th against the Devils. Learn more today at hurricanes.com/FamPacks.
Finals last night involving teams in the top 25 college basketball poll. 4th-ranked Kentucky rallied from a 15-point deficit to beat Arkansas 70-66. Naz Reid contributed 18 points and 11 rebounds in 13th-ranked LSU's 66-65 win against Texas A&M. And Romeo Langford, the freshman, made the go-ahead layup with under a second to go in double overtime to send Indiana past 19th-ranked Wisconsin 75-73. Number 21 Buffalo notched its 25th straight win at home. C.J. Massenberg had 23 points and 10 rebounds to rally the Bulls past Akron 77-64. Freshman Justin Ahrens scored 9 of his career-high 29 points during a 68-second span, while Ohio State was putting together a 12-2 run in the second half of their 90-70 rout of number 22 Iowa. Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
Nights, weekend, and holidays. You know plumbing problems never seem to take time off. And always, they seem to crop up at the worst possible times. And unfortunately, they can't wait hours on end for a solution. The Plumbing Night to the rescue. The Plumbing Night, of course, doesn't take time off either, because service is the lifeblood of their organization. Make the Plumbing Night your plumbing service partner and protector. Hopefully, it won't be an emergency when you call, but they're prepared to help if it is. And they won't take an arm and a leg just because it happened at an inconvenient time. Now that's a plumbing knight in shining armor, if you ask me. Check them out on the web at theplumbingknight.com or call them 639-5555. That's an easy number. Write it down. 639-5555. Again, that's 639-5555, day or night.
This is Hand On Golf, live at the PGA Merchandise Show in Orlando, Florida. I'm talking with
Michael Mahoney, Vice President of Golf Ball Marketing for Titleist.
Mike is going to tell us all about the new Pro V1 that they just introduced.
Yeah, so we're thrilled to launch the new Pro V1 this year. The new 2019 Pro V1 and Pro V1X deliver more consistency, more precision, and more speed. We talked to golfers going as far back as 2 years ago about what they were looking to improve. They asked us to deliver a golf ball that was longer and faster without changing any of the flight, feel, and spin characteristics that they love about Pro V1 and Pro V1X. So we did that by reformulating the core, thickening the casing layer, and making the cover a little bit thinner. The other exciting news, we're launching both of them in yellow, which is new for Titleist at Pro V1 and Pro V1X. We're excited about that. We think the golf balls are great. They've already been played all over the world, and PGA Tour players have won both on the PGA Tour in Australia with them, so we're excited about them.
Thank you, Mike. I look forward to playing the new yellow Pro V1. Available at Golf Augusta on Highway 1 in Southern Pine.
Serving Moore County since 1960 and continuously owned since then by the Barker family, Aberdeen Exterminating's goal has not changed since that first day nearly 60 years ago: to provide prompt, courteous, dependable services at a fair price. Services include termite inspections and treatments, household pest control, flea and tick control, yard treatments, mosquito control, crawl space protection, new home pre-treats, real estate inspections, installing moisture barriers, bed bug treatments, and more. Pests are a part of life in the South, especially termites. That's something you can depend on, so choose a service company you can depend on. Call Aberdeen Exterminating for a free inspection. 944-2474. That's 944-2474.
Local ownership is becoming a rare commodity in the car business. Clark Chevrolet Cadillac in Pinehurst is, and has always been, a small-town family business, not just a cog in a larger dealer group. Serving our community and creating satisfied, loyal customers for over 47 years, Clark Chevrolet Cadillac is a full-service dealership specializing in sales, service, parts, and collision repair. An honest dealership, no gimmicks, just an easy way of doing business. Tell us what you're looking for, and if we don't have it in stock, we will gladly get it for you. Clark Chevrolet Cadillac is located just a half mile from Moore Regional Medical Center on Dundee Road in Pinehurst. Experience the Clark Chevrolet Cadillac difference. Your hometown GM dealership. On the web at pinehurstcadillac.com.
This is Hand On Golf, live at the PGA Merchandise Show in Orlando, Florida. I'm talking with
Michael Mahoney, Vice President of Golf Ball Marketing for Titleist.
Mike is going to tell us all about the new Pro V1 that they just introduced.
So we're thrilled to launch the new Pro V1 this year. The new 2019 Pro V1 and Pro V1X deliver more consistency, more precision, and more speed. We talked to golfers going as far back as 2 years ago about what they were looking to improve. They asked us to deliver a golf ball that was longer and faster without changing any of the flight, feel, and spin characteristics that they love about Pro V1 and Pro V1X. So we did that by reformulating the core, thickening the casing layer, and making the cover a little bit thinner. The other exciting news, we're launching both of them in yellow, which is new for Titleist at Pro V1 and Pro V1X. We're excited about that. We think the golf balls are great. They've already been played all over the world, and PGA Tour players have won both on the PGA Tour in Australia with them, so we're excited about them.
Thank you, Mike. I look forward to playing the new yellow Pro V1 in Southern Pine.
Hello, I'm John Zumwalt, and you're in the Zumwalt Zone. I've talked to a lot of folks lately who oppose the wall. It almost always boils down to, well, I just don't know how we could be so heartless. These people have nothing. Well, if you're one of the folks that sincerely feels that way, I think you maybe should consider driving down to one of the border checkpoints with a band. Let the Border Patrol know you're there for them to load up 4 or 5 random men and let them come live with you in your house. It obviously doesn't matter to you who they are or what kind of background they have. Otherwise, you'd want a way to check them out. And that is really all the wall is for. It'll have doors, so to speak. The doors will be where people will knock. The door to our nation will be open, and someone will check them out to see whether or not it's okay for them to come to our house or our nation. If it's not okay, they can't come in. Just like we do in our homes. I don't really see that there's a huge difference. And one guy told me, well, it's a good thing the Native Americans didn't have a wall, isn't it? Well, actually, it's kind of sad. If they'd have had a better immigration policy, things might have turned out a little better for them. They could have kept all the killers and the deadbeats out. 2 years ago today, to change the subject, I did the first Zumwalt Zone. Well, that 2 years flew by for me. I'd like to thank all of you who listened and have listened for a while, and maybe will continue to listen. Maybe one day I'll get this thing right in the Zumwalt Zone.
You'll need the rain gear once again for this afternoon. We're tracking increasing rain chances as we get into the later parts of the day. Those cooler highs will be in place as well. Expect them in the lower 50s. We'll stay mostly dry tonight as those clouds try to break apart. Temperatures fall into the lower to mid 40s. Dry conditions will help us start the day on Thursday, but those rain chances will swiftly move back in by the afternoon with highs in the lower to mid 60s. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
And now, the Sandhills' #1 morning show. Mornings with the Leader Man. Here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. And heard and seen around the world at talk973.com.
The best part of waking up is waking up with us.
Do you know what today is?
Hump day! Hump day!
Good morning and happy hump day to you.
If you're just tuning in,
this is all being broadcast live.
It's a live show.
I heard that this show is really good.
You heard right.
You heard right, pal.
You heard right, baby.
All right, all right, all right.
Okay, let's hear it.
Let's hear it.
Let's hear it.
Right now.
It's showtime.
Good morning, Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sandhills. It is time once again for Mornings with the Leader Man. I am Steve Leader Adams, and don't forget, of course, this program being heard and seen around the world on our live video stream. That's available to you at our website at talk973.com. The link's right there on the home page, top middle of the page is where it's located. If you're on your mobile device, you're not carved out of the pie. You can also watch. You just use your YouTube app and put Mornings with the Leader Man into your search. If you're on your mobile device just needing an audio stream, that's available to you with many streaming services like TuneIn, iTunes, Streamline. Even Alexa will do it for you. Just put WEEB into that search. And if you're on our website, you can always get to our crystal clear digital stream 24/7, 365. In the upper right-hand corner of every web page, there's an icon at talk973.com that says Listen Live. Tap it once, and you are listening that quick. Weather for us today, cloudy with rain likely, high of 61. And most of the rain will be here this afternoon, up to a quarter-inch possible. So we're not talking all-day downpour here. Cloudy tonight, a low of 45. Then more than the same for tomorrow, 50-50 shot of showers. Otherwise, mostly cloudy, 64. You knew that nice weather yesterday wouldn't last. What was wrong with you thinking that? Thursday night, cloudy with rain, likely low of 47. Friday, drizzle and 54. And over the weekend, look for mostly cloudy skies. Scattered showers, just a 30% chance and no washout. 64 Saturday for a high and 53 Sunday. Right now around the Sand Hills, winds are calm, visibility 10 statute miles. Pressure is 3024, dew point 44. Humidity is 77%. We got cloudy skies and 51 degrees currently here at Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. Also got some scattered showers here in our area, showing up on the radar north of us, but we'll see if and when they come across us. All right, it is a Wednesday, and of course, that means John Zumwalt's in the building this morning. He always brings, most of the time, brings a guest with him. Today he's got Miriam Chu, who's a powerhouse leader here in our Sand Hills area. Now she wants to do it on a state level. We'll find out all about that, John.
Well, good morning, Steve, and thank you. I'm going to start by disagreeing with Miriam Chu during my very first sentence here. She says she's an ordinary citizen. I'm going to have to disagree with her. Miriam's an artist and a scientist and a carpenter and a welder and a philosopher, and I've never known anyone more versatile, more hardworking, and very few people that I admire, not just for her talent, but for her strength, her backbone, her willingness to stand up to folks and not be wowed by authority. And I love Miriam Chu, and I'm very proud to be able to introduce her this morning. Good morning, Miriam.
Good morning, John, and good morning, Moore County.
I'm going to start right in with questioning because we have a limited amount of time, and I want folks to get to know as much about what you're doing and why you're running. And the first thing, people, I believe not everyone who's listening knows and truly understands that we do have some leadership at the higher levels of the Republican Party in North Carolina, and they are not necessarily elected by the people. They are rather elected at the conventions. And so I'd like you, if you would, just take a couple of minutes and tell us about the leadership positions, how they impact people in North Carolina. And the reason I want folks to listen to this is because Miriam is going to tell you before this is over how you can take a part in that and electing these folks and actually get involved and go to conventions. But first, before we talk about that, Miriam, can you explain to us about these top leadership positions and what they actually do?
Well, first of all, I mean, in any organization, your leadership positions, they do set the tone for the party, and simply they are there to lead, whether you're talking about the Democrats, the Republicans, Libertarians, or anybody else. And they are, all the parties, they elect their leadership through conventions because you want members who buy into your philosophies and support your causes to be the ones voting for your leadership.
So I guess I should have said already that you're running for the vice chair of the GOP.
Yeah, the state party, yes.
And why do you feel, I'm guessing you feel we need change. Why do you feel we need change? What should be changed?
Well, I feel that I can make a change. I have a lot of experience with team building and problem solving in my 20-plus years with brick manufacturing. I know that's an interesting background for most people, or unusual at least. But the strength is in the base, the people out here. It's the people in the precincts, and we need to empower them and engage them. I mean, where we win elections is by getting people to the polls. I feel that the platform, the argument, the answers to the problems that the Republican Party has to offer are the right answers. And we need to get people that support that platform and those answers elected to go to Raleigh and solve our problems.
Well, I would like to get a little more specific, and I will say a couple of things here. I've not been shy about speaking out against Republican policies in the past, and I am an unaffiliated voter. However, I believe there is no way on earth we should have any more Democrats elected, maybe ever again, as long as they are the party of what I call, I'm not speaking for Miriam, but I'm calling baby murder.
Yeah.
I'm calling them out because they're not ready to protect
May I address that?
Please do.
John, unknown to most people, in April of 2017, here in North Carolina, the Democrats in our state house attempted to introduce a bill called the Women's Whole Health Act. It was an abortion bill, almost identical to the one passed in New York, and they attempted to introduce in Virginia. At the present time, in our state house and in our Senate, we are 6 votes away in the House and 3 votes away in the Senate from having a bill such as that pass, and we currently have a governor who is perfectly willing to sign that bill, a bill that would legalize infanticide in North Carolina. These are desperate times.
But, you know, back in my grandfather's day, and that's a long time ago, he used to say things like, these are desperate times, but these indeed are desperate times. Have you ever seen us, because I know I haven't, have you ever seen us so divided down the middle, Democrats and Republicans, no matter what one side says, the other one automatically is against it? Especially, well, have you ever seen us like this before in our history?
Not really. I mean, in my lifetime, no, but I will tell you, I mean, right here in our own county, I'm sitting down and talking with Democrats and discussing the issues, what we're concerned about, and I want to reach out to the Democrats to find out, what are your concerns? What are you basically concerned about? Because, I mean, the conversations I have with the rank and file person is we both want the same things. I mean, there isn't... If you're a Democrat, if you're a Republican, the things you want for your family, for your children, you don't want them to be uneducated. You don't want them going to bad schools. You don't want them to grow up to be drug addicts and prostitutes and criminals. And you don't want that for the children of the people around you.
I could not agree more, which is why I've said for months now, Democrats, a lot of you are good, wonderful people. You're just like us. Quit the Democrat Party. And if you say, well, I'm not really supporting abortion, you are supporting it. You're supporting it with your membership in the Democrat Party. The Democrat Party locally may not be, or is not, the same as the one at the national level. The one that's being led by Cortez, and their second in command now is Nancy Pelosi, but Cortez is leading the new wave. Okay, and I need to let you talk because people want to hear you, not me. What are some of the ideas, some more of the ideas that you have to improve the things at the top?
Well, as the vice chair, I mean, I'm there to be an advisor, and also the primary function of the vice chair has been someone to be a cheerleader and lift the spirits of the party. And Michelle Nix did a marvelous job of traveling around the county. I mean, she put hundreds of thousands of miles on her vehicles visiting every county in the state. And I plan on continuing that, but I'm also a very, very hands-on type person. I want to get involved in making, I mean, I'm currently a precinct chair right here in Moore County. And one of the things that I'm actively involved in is how do we build the network within these precincts? We need better access to information within the precincts.
Okay, I'm going to stop you, Miriam.
Go ahead.
But I want you to keep going along that same line. The number one question I get when I raise subjects is this: how do I get involved? How do I get involved? So a lot of people do not really understand this whole precinct thing and don't understand they can actually go there and register, and they can continue on up the chain and go to all these conventions and really, truly make a difference. Can you start at the very basic level and explain that to someone who may not have any idea what we're talking about?
Okay. Well, the bad news is for anybody here in Moore County, sorry, if you haven't gone to your precinct meeting, you already missed it. But your next chance to get involved is our county convention is March 23rd. Registration is begins at 12:30. And
where will that be?
It will be at the Village Hall here in Pinehurst on Magnolia Drive.
Say that date again and the time, please.
March 23rd. Registration begins at 12:30.
Now, you have to be a Republican to go to this?
You have to. Well, you do not have to be a Republican to attend. You have to be a Republican registered by by January 31st to but you can sign up to be a delegate to the state convention, which is June 6th through 9th in Concord this year. And this is important because we will be electing new state officers, chair and vice chair.
Let me ask the question.
Sure.
Where you're at. If a person didn't go to their precinct meeting and get elected or didn't have a plurality to get elected as a delegate, can you be a delegate at the county convention?
You cannot be a delegate at the county convention to vote for the county leadership, but at the county convention you can sign up to be a delegate for the state, and but you do have to have been registered as a Republican by January 31st of this year.
Okay. And it's too late to go to a precinct meeting now, but
there's lots of other ways to get involved.
Lots of other ways to get involved, and I would like to remind folks that it's not too late to go to your precinct meeting next year, next time they have them.
Yeah, and one of the things you're going to find going on now is, here in Moore County, I'm blessed to be in Moore County. We are a great county, and we have a really good Republican Party here. But if you go to the Moore County Republican website, and that is mcncgop.com.
Say that again, Miriam, please.
MC, as in Moore County, NC as in North Carolina, GOP.com, mcncgop.com. There are links to the various organizations there that we have here in Moore County. We've got a men's club, we've got a women's club, we've got a tea party that all meet monthly.
And do you have to be members of them to attend?
No, you do not have to be members of any of those. You can be a guest. They all meet monthly and have various activities, and you are welcome at any of those.
And you are the vice president of the Moore Republican Women.
Yes, sir, I am.
And now, you don't have to call me sir, Mary. How long we know each other? Come on. Do I call you ma'am?
Yes, I do.
You look over here and see how old I am. You just have to call me. What is it? I know
it's a way of making her feel young.
Well, sitting next to me.
And by the way, we're talking with Miriam Chu, who is running for the GOP vice chair.
State
vice chair.
State party vice chair.
Which is what this conversation is about today, John.
The ladies require you to sign up before you go, and there's a reason for that. They're not just being mean. There's a very nice dinner.
All the clubs require you to sign up, and it's just real simple. They need to know how much food and how many table settings that the venue has to prepare.
Well, can you tell us where the next women's meeting is?
Okay.
When it is and the cost?
Yes.
And how long they have to sign up?
Yeah, now with the Women's Club, our upcoming luncheon is this coming Monday, March 4th, and you have to sign up by noon today. You'll hear the PSA running on this radio station. The cost is $20, and our speaker will be John Tamney, who is a Fox News commentator and author. it's going to be a really good meeting. And Phil Berger Jr., who is probably going to be the candidate running for Supreme Court in 2020 to fill the seat vacated by Justice Newby when he runs for Chief Justice, will be there to speak to us as well.
And they have to sign up by when?
Today.
Okay, today's your deadline.
Yeah, but I mean, they need to, the chefs have got to know how much food to order and all that stuff.
And do you allow men?
Absolutely. We love men.
Okay. Well,
and they allow guests. So.
That's right.
Well, I've attended several, as you know, and I want to say this. You know, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening to this and you heard where this will be, and it's the Republican women, and some of you might think, well, I bet this is some snooty affair that I would not be welcome. You couldn't be more wrong. This is a wonderful, wonderful group of ladies. They make you feel at home. There's no looking down on anyone. I just think it's one of the best groups in the world, and I really hope you'll think about going, and you get some great information, and you get to hear what others think as well, and you get to talk to folks about your input. Miriam, I've got a question about the minorities.
Yes.
I have felt for some time that the Democrat Party does nothing to help their constituents. And I've always wondered why the Republican Party doesn't make more of an effort to reach out. And I know the tendency is, why can't folks come to us? But I really think that we should make an effort to reach out to minorities and let them see what the Republican Party has to offer to them. Do you have any ideas on that, or do you think we're doing enough already?
No, we're absolutely not doing enough, and I see an effort in certain parts of the Republican Party to continue that. Just recently, here just a few days ago, you may have been able to see President Trump give awards to various African Americans in the White House for Black History Month. And one of the people that was there with him was Clarence Henderson. Clarence Henderson was just here in Moore County this past weekend. He spoke at my church, which is First Missionary Baptist Church on South Gain Street. And I just love this man. And he is the president of the Frederick Douglass Foundation here in North Carolina. And there is no other conservative organization that I am aware of that is doing a better job of reaching out to African Americans in our community. And the message he has is absolutely amazing. I mean, with the Republican Party, I mean, they tell you, you can do it. Stand up on your own 2 feet, become independent. Whereas the Democrat message is very simple. You're a victim. You can't do it without us. You're helpless. And I'm offended. I mean, I did have that mentality at one time. I viewed myself as a victim, and until I changed my mentality and realized that the only way I was ever going to change my status in life was when I quit being a victim and took control of things and realized that, hey, I can't go from being a cashier at McDonald's to being the head of the boardroom without a whole lot of hard work. But you have to start at the bottom of the ladder. And the problem with the Democrat Party today is if they want to establish a $15 an hour minimum wage, they are cutting out the bottom rungs of the ladder. Because you have to start at the bottom. You have to learn those basic skills of responsibility, showing up to work on time, treating customers properly, counting money. Just simple, basic skills of responsibility and accountability to advance in life. And when you tell someone you're a victim and we're just going to take care of you, they are never going to advance beyond that. And the Republican Party is the party that recognizes that you can do it.
I don't think we can speak about minority without talking about reaching out to folks who are the economically disadvantaged, and it's the
same group. I mean, see, this is the other thing. The Democrats, they want to divide us by color, by sex, by gender, and all that. And I mean, Republicans realize that we are all alike. We are all individuals, and it doesn't matter about your skin color. It's what's in your heart. It's the courage in your spirit. It's what's in your mind, and we are all individuals.
Which is why I believe that we've got to talk about issues not necessarily Democrat or Republican. It just so happens the Democrats are doing some things I believe to be horrendous. Now,
absolutely.
Don't you think that if the Democrats in Moore County is who I would like to speak about, and two, if there happen to be some listening, if we could sit down with people in this county, because I happen to believe there are some very, very, very good people who, if they were to sit down with us and discuss the issues, would run from the Democrat Party and would join the Republican Party, because I don't believe that the values that the good people here in Moore County have align themselves with the Democrat platform, especially at the national level. Do you agree with that or disagree?
I know that for an absolute fact, because, I mean, behind the scenes, I'm actually talking with people who are members, very, very active members of the Democrat Party here in Moore County, and I know it from their own lips that they disagree with the national Democrat platform.
Well, I wish we could all have a dialogue with Democrats, and
I am.
Good. And I mean, I would allow them to speak. Now, I'm going to have to put liberals and Democrats. I'm not really good at speaking with liberals and keeping my calm, because I'm just not. All right. What happens at a convention, Mary? What actually takes place? Walk us through the whole thing.
Well, we vote on a lot.
Wait a minute. First of all, we're talking with Miriam Chu, who's running for vice chair of the state GOP. And you say convention. Which one are we talking about, though?
The state.
State.
Well, all conventions have things in common, and I mean, first of all, it's a great opportunity to get to meet a lot of other like-minded people. The business of the party, of course, is to elect officials and to officers and to vote on policy matters. One of the things you were that you wanted to ask me about was party platform and that kind of thing. Those are all written during the year by committees. And that is another thing that that happens at conventions, is people can volunteer to be on these committees, to actually write resolutions, to write the party platform, work on plan of organization, and be on these very important committees that create the principles of the party, the platform. And if you want to make a change, if you see that there is something wrong with the Republican Party, or you want to make it better, or you want to make it stronger, get involved. You come to these conventions. Volunteer to be on a committee. You can make a difference. It is the individuals. I mean, the strength of our party, the strength of any party, is the people that are out here in the streets. I mean, the folks that are up there in Raleigh, yeah, they're the leaders, but they are there to represent the people that are here in the precincts, the voters. And the job of the Republican Party is to elect Republicans. And the people out here are the ones that direct what a Republican is and what a Republican looks like. And the more of you that get involved, the better the party will be.
And let me take a second to invite the Democrat leadership in this county. Please, you're more than welcome to come on here and tell us about your platforms and why people should become Democrats. I don't believe that that's correct, but we can discuss it if you'll come on. Miriam, you talked about, I mentioned that the Republican women are very, very open to anyone who comes in, no matter what your status in life may be. And I don't know if folks really realize the way that you talked about you'd pulled yourself up and you'd worked hard and you'd been a McDonald's cashier.
No, well, I just used that as an example.
Okay.
I've never been a McDonald's cashier.
So now you deny it, huh?
Well, hey, I've crawled around in dryer ductworks at a brickyard.
You've wheelbarrowed brick loads of brick, as I recall.
Oh my gosh, I've worked in places where you didn't stand in one place too long because the soles of your shoes would melt.
And I'm guessing if you're like me and a lot of other people, when you were kind of down in those days, not.
I loved it. I wasn't down. I worked hard, and it was rewarding. I was part of a team, and we had a goal.
That's wonderful, but I'm guessing that when you were wheeling wheelbarrow bricks across the yard and taking a great deal of pride in your job, like I've taken in jobs I've had, you probably weren't thinking that one day I'll be running as the vice chair of the GOP in North Carolina.
No, absolutely not.
And I'm guessing you probably thought, there's no way they would have me.
I didn't.
Wheeling bricks here.
Well, and I'll go back real quick. I mean, I was a fine arts major in college, and I just felt like it was completely out of touch from reality. I said, how in the world am I ever going to go out in the world and support myself? And I was disillusioned because something that looked like a painter's drop cloth, I was being told was a fabulous piece of artwork. I'm like, I'm going to lose my mind. So I took welding, I took machine shop, and I went out in the real world and said, I'm going to learn what it's about. And so here I am more years later than I care to admit. And I've learned to do carpentry. I've learned to weld. I've been a sheriff's dispatcher. You pretty much name it, and I've done it. But it's given me a very, I'd say, well-rounded outlook on who people are and a respect for the importance of the individual roles. I mean, there is nobody that's doing a job out there, except maybe politicians, that it isn't important what they do. Every person is important. Their job's important.
And that is extremely valuable information for people to have, because how many times have I said, the guy up there at the top has no idea about the real world, and you do. And that's why I mentioned the wheeling the bricks, and because I happen to believe that anything anyone does for a job working is a tribute to them that they would work. And some people work 2, 3, 4 jobs and still may not feel like we care about them, but we do. And especially someone who comes from a life like you and I did, where we actually had to work and work hard, and not necessarily in status jobs. Do you have any specific ideas of things that you would like to improve with the amount of influence that you will have?
Well, like I said, it's mainly, I mean, it is where it's helping those folks that are out there in the trenches. I mean, today you turn on any mainstream news media and you're going to get bashed with propaganda. And we have got to communicate with each other. There has got to be an alternative information route exchange, and I think that through the precincts, through us talking through each other, through the miracle of social media now, we can do this. We can have the facts without having to turn on CNN. And it is getting our people educated and to the polls. If they know the truth, I think they're going to vote for the right people. And this is what we've got to do. And we need to recruit good people to run for office, and we need to support them.
So if you're out there and you are thinking about running for office, please, we'd encourage you to at least look into it. Miriam, we as a nation have got to defeat the Democrats in the next election. We've never run against outright socialism before in this country that I'm aware of. And folks who are following Cortez into what would be the doom of this country, and again, killing babies. So don't you agree that probably it's I don't know if there's ever been another election. We say this all the time, but this one is so important. Republicans must defeat the Democrats.
And if you notice how it seems like all the candidates on the Democratic side are trying to lean as far left as they can.
Yes. All right, Miriam, last word. Anything you'd like to say?
Well, I'm going to be extremely bold and leave my phone number here for anyone that'd like to contact me because, I mean, the biggest thing I've got to do right now, the most important thing I'm going to have to do if I'm going to win this election and help you is get people to come to the state convention. My phone number, this is my cell number, 919-721-4152.
Say it one more time, a little slower.
919-721-4152.
Okay, well, thank you, Miriam. I really admire you. As you know, I'm a great fan. And if you've got this number, don't hesitate to call her. She can give you advice on where different meetings are, and she'll be glad to do it. Thank you again, Miriam, for coming on.
Thank you, and I appreciate your support.
And I'll tell you one other thing is that if you want to make a difference. It does no good to complain to your neighbor. You got to get involved. This is the grassroots way of doing it. You know, become a delegate. Go up there and have your say, like Marion was telling you. You can sit there and help write the platform and get involved in the committees, because that's where the real work is done. So if you want to get involved, well, you can check out the website again, which is mcncgop.gov. .com.
Yeah.
And your number one more time, Miriam.
919-721-4152.
It's that simple. So, in other words, it's up to you to care about changing it. Because otherwise we get the same thing we've always had. And we know we're tired of that. All right, so it goes for this Wednesday. Have yourself a great, safe day. We'll see you back bright and early tomorrow, 7 to 9, for a Thumping Thursday. Until then, be sure to support all the mom and pop businesses you hear on our airways, because they are the backbone of our economy here in Moore County. Your money will stay here, roll over, and create jobs. And don't forget, millions of Americans have fought and they have died to give and protect the freedoms that you get to enjoy today. Live today worthy of their and your family's sacrifice. I'm Steve Leader Adams, and the Leader Man, and Nick and Colt the dog. We'll all see you at 2 o'clock this afternoon at the dog park.